Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we got a quick review on the Wiha Banter. I finally get to have one in hand and review it and test it out, thanks to Q1 Fiend. And I also want to thank him for all the support he gives us. He's a massive asset to our channel. He's a moderator in our lives. He's been supporting us for a long time, and we cannot thank him enough, and we're lucky to have him as a friend. So the Wiha Banter, man, I'm happy to finally get to check it out because, you know, when it first came out, I was wanting to try it out, you know, and I just never got it. And a lot of people wanted me to review it. So here it goes. Now, there are a lot of reviews on this knife. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it any more justice than they already have, but I'll give it a shot. So first off, I just want to say that it's not a big knife. It is a small, medium to small knife. Now, they have a new version coming out of this knife, though. So if you don't know who the designer is, he used to work for Blade HQ, Ben Banters, and he's the designer, and he has a new one coming out. It is a bit smaller, which I thought was kind of weird because I thought he was going to come out with a larger version, but nope. He said, we're going smaller, even though everybody seemed like they wanted a larger version. You know, the new one has a finger choil, and it looks pretty cool. So I'll definitely want to check it out because this one, it's impressive. I'm definitely impressed. It's better quality than I thought it was going to be. I honestly thought it was going to feel, and I'm not saying it doesn't, because saying something feels like a Civivi is a good thing, but it even feels a little bit better than that. So starting this thing off, I just want to say the ergos are very comfortable. I do feel the clip, and you know, but it's a deep carry clip. So, but I can get a full grip on this little handle, and it's palm filling, which I like. I can get maximum amount of leverage in a hammer grip, you know, in just about any grip really, because it's such a neutral grip. I mean, you can see how simple the handle design is, which makes it incredibly comfortable in basically all grips. Now, Ben has this thing where he likes to be able to put his finger all the way up by the tip. And in this case, you know, I think I don't know, maybe, I don't know if we have similar size hands or not, but yeah, you know, it is very comfortable like this. But yeah, I noticed during cutting, and you know, this is a flat ground blade. The geometry is fantastic. It cuts very good. And one of the things I noticed with the cutting is the leverage I can get behind my cuts. Now, I was cutting double thick cardboard, and it was blazing through it like nothing, no problems. And it didn't matter what I was cutting when I was slicing. It slices very, very well. And like I said, you have so much control with the ergos that it helps with the cutting performance. Now, the geometry of the blade is really good too. I measured this one directly behind the edge at 15 thousandths. Now, it is a flat ground blade, so it's not a hollow grind, so it is going to get thicker as you sharpen it, but the taper is done very well, which is going to make it sharpen up really good too with life. You know, the more, you know, as you sharpen it, it is going to get slightly thicker, but not dramatically, because the geometry is so good on it. Now, if we look at the finish, this is a stone washed finish that is really nice. It's definitely going to help hide scratches and wear as time goes on. Now, with the utility cuts, I did run into a little issue with the utility cuts. Now, it does have a little bit of belly, not a crazy amount of belly, but it's kind of like a spear point more than a drop point. So since it is kind of like a spear point, you know, the tip does have a thickness to it that makes it strong, yet good for utility cuts in a way. But if it was anything dense, I didn't get the best cuts. Now, if it was just a straight line, not a big issue. But if I was trying to do circles or any type of S cuts or anything like that, it didn't do very well with thicker cardboard. Like I said, straight lines, not a problem. But, you know, any type of shapes or anything like that wasn't very good. But once I changed my cardboard out and got some thinner cardboard or regular cardboard, it did fantastic. So no issues as long as it wasn't super thick materials with the tip. So, and you know, for the most part, I don't know if this is going to be the kind of knife you really put through thick, dense materials anyways. So, not a big deal at all. Getting to the action. So, the thumb studs are well placed. You know, this is kind of, you know, I don't want to say square, but it's squared off. But the thumb studs are very well placed. Like my finger naturally goes right there. It is a little short, so it's not like a full-size knife or anything, but I can easily find the thumb studs very quick, and the detent is well tuned. And you can hear it. But the thumb studs rocket out as soon as you break the detent, and it's not too strong to where you can't slow roll it. I can easily slow roll it. And reverse flick is also very easy because the detent is so well tuned. As soon as you break the detent basically with a little bit of force behind your finger, it flies. Now, the lock bar, you can access it. It does kind of poke out a little bit on both sides, just a little bit. And that makes it to where you basically just put your finger right in the front and push over. And the detent, when you unlock it, is nice and early. No ramp, but it doesn't really need one. But you can just let it drop, hit your finger, and then the ceramic bearings are very smooth. Another thing I really enjoyed about this is the lockup. So even when I slow roll it all the way open, as soon as it gets, oop, there it goes. As soon as I get it to right here, it basically just sucks itself right in. And I like that. I've said that a lot on my channel, that I like that feeling where you can tell the geometry of the lock face is done very well. There's no way it doesn't lock up solid every time, no matter how slow you roll it. I appreciate that. It tells me that, like I said, the lock geometry or lock face geometry is done very well. Now, the clip and hardware. The clip, great clip. It is inset with flat screws. You never have to worry about the seam of your pants, you know, grabbing on it or, you know, stopping it or anything like that. It works great. You can do it one-handed. It doesn't matter. It's a great clip. Great clip. Yes, I feel it in my hand when I'm holding the knife, but for the carry, it works fantastic. Now, the hardware is all T8s, which I love to see. The only T6s are on the clip, but, you know, everywhere else is T8s. This knife does come in multiple different colors, so this isn't the only option. Ben actually has one in his Ben Blue. I think you got to kind of know who that is to really understand what that means, but he loved his color blue when he worked for Blade HQ, and, you know, it was a specific type of blue, and, you know, everybody referred it as Ben Blue. Anyways, so looking at, you know, what the heck's it called? Looking at like the tolerances, it is fit in there really good. The tolerances on all the parts are done very well. Everything seems to be put together very, very nicely. The G10 is good quality. There's only a liner on the one side. So the show side, there's nothing underneath. It is just the G10 scale. But you can see that on the lock face side, it does have the steel liner. Now, getting to some bad. So this thing doesn't have a lot of bad to it. So I don't want, dang it, I did not sharpen it. Okay. Oh yeah, I also want to say the choil is very, very nice. Look at this choil. So you can see where the plunge grind starts and ends right there next to it. So they did give you plenty of life to sharpen out of this, to lay the edge back, and I like that. Very, very nice. Jimping is very well done. It only has a little tiny bit of jimping, it's not placed in the best place. I would think it'd be like right here, but it's okay, especially if you hold it back here. But it's only like 4 jimps, 4 or 5, whatever that is. Anyways, now a couple bad things, a couple negative things. I could really only come up with one. A lot of people said that this was basic, right? And they said that in a good way, that there was nothing beautiful about it. It's just a basic knife, very simple design, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Because the one thing about a knife is how it works, right? Not how it looks. It's supposed to be how it functions, and this functions great, and it just looks like a knife. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great thing. So that to me would be a good thing, not a negative at all. Now, the lock bar access is the one negative thing I do have to say, or the one major thing that stands out to me. So I have to put my finger on the front of it to unlock it. It's not hard or anything like that, but it would just be better if I could get it from the side, or if it gave me a little bit more access. They really don't give you much to the lock bar. I mean, it's not horrifying, but it's also not good. I would love if this was chamfered out just a little bit so that you can easily get to it. One other little thing that I could come up with on the negative is that it would have been cool if they would have made it so it was a reversible clip. It is such a simple looking knife. I know they probably didn't do it because of the aesthetics, and it would have taken away from the aesthetics a little bit, but I don't think so. Because it's so simple looking, I don't think it would have been a big issue to make that little spot right there for the clip to go on this side as well. And it's very easy to use left-handed, so I think it would have just benefited it. Obviously lefties would have liked it better, but they probably didn't do that because of the aesthetics, since it does have such a simple, clean look to it. However, I don't think it would have affected it that much, and I think it would have been very beneficial for the lefties because it's so easy to use left-handed. So that would have been awesome. But I did hear, though, Ben does not like lefties. I don't know why. He has an issue with left-handed people, and he doesn't like them. And I'm obviously joking right now, guys. So, but yeah, it's hard to come up with anything bad on this thing. This thing it's done very well. It's a very simple design. So there's not a lot to get wrong with such a simple design, which is something that I appreciate on this. I appreciate that there's not a whole bunch of extravagant on this, which gives leeway to having negative things. It's so simple. It's very easy to get it right. I like that. I mean, it's super comfortable in the hand. I can get a full grip. Even if I spread my fingers out a little bit and I'm only getting a 3-finger grip, basically, it still works good. So it's a very, very functional knife, and I enjoyed carrying it. I enjoyed having a knife on me that was just a knife, nothing extravagant. It's just a knife, and I like that. Now the steel it's using is S35VN, so I would say I'm not the biggest fan of S35VN, and it's not like there's something wrong with it. And Wiha does a good job with their S35VN, so I don't have an issue with it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I like other steels a little bit better. However, it's a great steel. It's a well-rounded steel. And like I said, Wiha does a good job with it. So I'm happy I got to try this out, and because I got to try this out, I am going to try to get my hands on the new version, even though it is a bit smaller, and I almost wonder if I'll like this one better, but at least now that I've tried this one, I'll know the difference. And Fiend, thank you very much, and thank you guys for watching. I love you guys. Peace.